Welcome, guys, once again to another review and recap. And today we're going to be talking about Married to Medicine Season 12, Episode 2. Like we usually do, before we go ahead and talk about the episode, let's first talk about rate. How did you feel about the episode? What would you rate the episode? Was it a good episode? Was it a bad episode? From 1 to 10.
I'm gonna have to give him like about a 4.5. I mean, a lot of
Okay.
stuff has been
Why?
boiling for a while now,
Yes.
and hopefully things have come to a head and we can move on, and go to something else. But I would have to give it a 4.5. How do you rate it?
Mm, I would rate it, like you said, there's been a lot of things. Like, I really am a little bit tired of the Quad versus, uh, what's her name?
Simone?
Yeah, Quad versus Simone, because I'm like, at what point would you guys get it over with? So that repetition, and I've not really got to see what really is about these new cast members. So I'm gonna give it like the same, maybe a 4/10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it probably a 4/10 because I'm like, this storyline has been brewing for like ever. So I already like, it's like I was watching it. I expected what would have happened between Simone and Quad. I expect like there was no element of shock or surprise or no. Anyways, let's just go ahead and talk about the episode. We started this episode with Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon in the bed in their house talking about her running for office and also the arrest of her son. Now, I did see the news when it came out of Dr. Heavenly's son's arrest.
Uh-huh.
Um, when it came out on social media, and it was exposed. Now the stuff was when they were in the house. Dr. Heavenly was saying that she never knew about it, but about it. It seems like her husband and the child and her son hid it from her. And the first time she was getting to know about it was from social media. And for me, I felt a certain kind of way that I would not love that if my son was arrested, I will be finding out on social media. That is something I wouldn't like. Um, I would prefer for me to know about it. Dr. Damon was trying to like make argument for himself that he kind of told her, but he wasn't even sure whether he did tell her. But did you feel that he told her with the way his response with, or he was just trying to make a case for himself that he told her?
You know, it could be a possibility that he might have mentioned it, but then again, you know he seems like he's the type that would keep pain from her, keep her from stressing out about something, because like he said, hey, I knew that I could handle it, and get it over and done, you know without it being a big problem, you know. But and then I don't understand, like, she's on social media, how could she not see that, you know
But it means like it came like the social media stuff was, is it early last year or late last year?
is there any
So
what?
she's, eh? You said
What?
what?
I didn't hear your question.
I said the news being exposed on social media was late last year.
Yeah,
After,
but
I think after the season, after the last season aired,
yeah.
that was when it was exposed. So that was when she said she first saw it. That's when she first knew of her son being arrested.
Okay, but this happened in 2022.
Yeah,
We're in 2025.
yeah.
So I don't see why she wouldn't see it, knowing that she has a
Or that she has a
podcast.
podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, I don't know, it blows my mind to know that she didn't
Okay,
see
you're
this
saying that
before.
you don't. Okay, sorry for cutting you short. Are you saying that you do not believe that she never knew about the arrest? Because
Yeah, I'm just saying it's hard to believe
why? Why do you think it's hard to believe?
because if you've seen it on social media last year, I'm pretty sure as soon as it happened, it was all over social media.
No. When the thing is, when it was on social media, I think the arrest already has already happened.
Right.
It has already happened, and the father already bailed him out. It just got exposed.
Three
That's
years,
I don't know.
two and a half years later.
I don't know, but that's what happened. The arrest had already. It was not like at that moment when it was. It wasn't like at that moment when it was exposed on social media. That was when the arrest was happening. Like it was like real time happening. It had like okay, let's say I'd been arrested like a week ago. Had
Right.
had bailed myself out. I'm back home. Ensured I've probably started to forget about it. But 2 weeks after somebody exposed it,
Right.
that is exactly how it happened. And the fact that he's also a son of someone that is influential, right? His mom
Right.
is on a very popular and big show. And
Right.
we know that Heavenly runs her mouth,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
another thing is that last season was Heavenly trying to show off her son. I don't know if you can remember most of last season, but
Yeah,
last season
where
was of
he
Heavenly
he was
showing
at the
off her
dental
son.
office. Right.
Yeah, him
Hmm.
getting being in her dental clinic, being
Right.
like he's almost done with school, the fact
Hmm.
that he's going to probably even take over her business, those kind of things. She was
Hmm.
putting out her son out there and make like trying to uplift him. So
Right.
I do not think if she had had an idea of the arrest as at that time when they were shooting,
Hmm.
that she knew that that happened. I don't think she would have been coming on air and like Heavenly that knows that she talks too much and anything, people that talk too much, they know that anything can be used against them.
Right.
So I see that Heavenly is that kind of person that if she really did know about it as at that time, she would have said it out so that nobody can use it or none of the ladies can use it against her.
Hmm.
So that is the thing. I do not feel like she did know about it. In my own opinion, I don't think she did know about it. I think she did not know about it, truthfully. Um, but as much as I say I don't think she knew about it, it also begs the question of how of how good or how bad of a mother are you that something happened to your son that big of a thing? Because getting arrested is not a small thing.
Yeah, and then the charges,
Yeah. The
you
charges
know.
is also not a small thing.
Yeah.
And you as a mom, you were not privy to it. You were not told about it. Like it now begs the question to me, like, okay, how motherly are you? Because I'm pretty sure if my mom was alive, I got arrested. There is absolutely no way in hell, no matter how I try and hide it, my mom would know. My mom will find out. So it kind of when I realized that okay, she really did not. In my opinion, I was like, okay, she really did not know about it. But I started down looking at her in one way, like, okay, how motherly are you, or how close really are you with your son that they were able to hide this from you for so long?
Yeah,
that's just
well,
where me
well,
I'm at.
Damon did a good job,
Mm-hmm.
with
As is
handling it
that.
this far,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it still ended up with Heavenly exploding with her mouth and her temper,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
is no matter how old your kid is, it's not cool. You got to use your words. You got to use the vocabulary that is built
Yeah.
within inside of you to learn how to communicate and get to
Mm.
the bottom of things and find out why and what happened. Because
Mm.
those allegations are really damaging. y- you know
Yeah.
it's like a jacket that if you did it or if you didn't do it, it's a jacket that gets put on you and society will zip that jacket up on you. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
And even if it's summertime and it's hot, you still got that jacket on.
Mm.
And you can't take it off. you know so I just feel that maybe she should have known. Maybe Damon should have told her because, like I said, the allegations are really some kind of serious allegations, you know,
Mm.
uh, towards law enforcement, and that,
Mm.
that they kill black people for that, especially young black men, old black
Mm-hmm.
men, middle aged black men,
Yeah.
women, teenagers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But the young black man is the target out here in the United States.
Mm.
So those are serious allegations because you never know who else read the police report, and say, oh, well, we gonna get some vengeance out because he's doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a scary thing to be a mom of young black men in this day and time. Well, at any time, it's a scary
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm just
Um.
glad he's okay, and I'm glad now Heavenly
Exactly. Because
knows.
yeah. Exactly. I'm glad he's okay because people get killed off with those kind of charges. So I'm so glad that nothing happened. Um.
Yeah,
But knowing that because of this incident, it has caused a rift between the son and the mom. Because hearing um Dr. Heavenly talk, you will realize that after she found out about it, like every mother would do, she flipped up and got pissed off and probably said some words that probably maybe over the top or unnecessary or she shouldn't have said. But it's also understandable that she'll be upset, right? Um, I don't know. Do you feel like the situation now, because hearing that after she heard about it, she flipped up, said some words that maybe she shouldn't have said, got pissed off, and now the son has moved out and has cut off communication with her, in short, with them. Do you think that the son shouldn't have done that? Or I don't know how to put it. Like, do you feel it was up to that level where the son should have been like, you know what, I'm packing up, I'm moving on, and I'm cutting you guys off?
maybe it might have been necessary because Heavenly can hit low. You know what I'm saying? She can
Yeah,
hit low. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
and maybe it was necessary for him to save some of his mental health.
Mm,
Because I'm pretty sure whatever he went through was probably traumatic for him. I mean, here's a kid that never gets in trouble, then all of a sudden here comes trouble,
yeah.
you know? And then here comes your dad to the rescue. He says, hey, no, we're not going to tell mom because you know how mom is. I'm just gonna handle it. And you go, okay, you breathe, because sometimes when a kid gets with that parent that they can kind of feel like they're safe with, they can breathe again. You know what I'm saying? Then once he
Yeah.
breathes again, not too long later, his mom finds out, and she is like off the roof. She is like a earthquake, like a 10.10. She's off the record scale. You know what I'm saying? She's a volcano. She's blowing up. She's spewing all this stuff. His mental health was probably already wrecked. Probably every time he drove and had a police car behind him, or seen him passing the other way, he's looking in the rearview mirror like, oh, I hope they don't turn around. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
nerve wracking. This is the stuff that we go through out here in the United States. And we shouldn't have to. You know, before a young black man, it's even worse. Especially if you had that one interaction, two interactions, or more, or no interactions. It's something that you carry around in your psyche, and at any time you got to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It will destroy your mental health. So then he has his mom exploding on him. Maybe he had to leave to preserve his dignity as a young black man, and then
Mhm.
two, his mental health. Because maybe with those words cut, words hurt. Even when you don't mean it. That's why you have to breathe and learn how to use your words to communicate the right words when you speak, especially to your kids. You know? So
Yeah.
now we have the situation where, yeah, he packed up. He's gone. He's not communicating right now with either one of them. You know, he needs to heal, you know, because
Well,
where he thought it was safe with his dad,
mm,
now the mama bear done woke up and she's tearing everybody's head off.
I, I, I don't. I hope that it gets better. I hope um, it doesn't go further than this, because one thing I do not like is, except because I've never heard that Heavenly was abusive to her children, or you know,
Well, I
she's
wouldn't,
she yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't say abusive, but I'm just saying words hurt.
Sure. Yeah,
Words
oh,
words are
I'm I,
harsher than spankings.
I'm telling you, I'm one person that can testify to that, because I know that there are some words that my dad said to me. This is like 5 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
Even he knows that those words has stuck,
Mm,
because I usually say that sometimes it gets some words that you say to me, I'll just be like, it's better you had beaten me up.
right,
Because if you did beat me up, the wound will heal.
right. But you still be
Yeah.
left with the trauma.
But with words, it will stick in your brains. It will be stuck there. So, well, I do hope that they are able to walk through it. I do hope, especially now that she's in politics. Politics is a dirty game.
It is.
No matter the country or wherever the continent you are in, playing it, it's a dirty game, and everybody there plays dirty. Um, I just do hope, because I do not want somebody using that against her in the future in her political career. Because yeah,
Right. But if you, I mean, if you, I don't really like talking politics, but if you want to talk
yeah,
politics just really quickly, let's touch on it. Uh, there is not one politician out there that has a really spick and span family. There's something
sure.
wrong in every family, because this is the world we live in. Nobody's perfect, and and if your household is perfect, you could bet one of your siblings aren't. You know what I'm saying? One of your cousins aren't,
Mm,
your uncle or your aunt, or maybe one of your parents. You know what I'm saying? It's the way of the world. So hopefully that won't be used against her. You know what I'm saying? It's life. It's the full circle of life. We all go through it at one time or another.
mm,
But I just hope that her family can mend and they can get back to the loving relationship that they had,
yeah, sure.
and let this bring them closer together and not further
Mm,
apart.
mm-hmm. I I I also do hope that. I do hope that too.
Hmm.
Um, let's go for that. Moving forward, Contenta and her husband's building. Do you think? Let's just quickly browse through that part. Do you think that that building is taking too long, and maybe they are investing too much and really not getting any output?
Um, no, construction. I know a lot, pretty much a lot about construction, right? And this is my thing on it. With construction, I know it takes time, especially when you have different laborers coming in doing different work. You got the drywallers, you got the electricians, you got the plumbers, you got the people who do the tile on the floors, you got the painters. You see what I'm saying? And they all come in at different times. They can't all come in together because that's just too much material. Everybody's in everybody's way. So you have to schedule it accordingly and hope everything goes right. You know what I'm saying? There's mistakes that happen. Products get damaged on the way there. When you pull it out the box, when you take it in the building, stuff gets damaged, you know. So you, stuff happens, you know. So I don't know, you know, thank God, whenever we try to do anything accordingly around the house, the home front, the homestead, you know, I got a very intelligent husband. He does it all. So we don't have to wait months and months and months and months for stuff to happen. It can happen in like 30 days or less, you know? And hopefully she can find those type of people, you know, that can help her. But, I'm pretty sure everybody is under contracts out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take
Well,
months. It's gonna take months,
yeah. Well,
probably longer.
you know, probably, maybe the way you guys do construction over there is different from ours.
Right,
Um, because I do know that over here, once you have your money,
right.
right? Like they had their money. Once the money is there,
Hmm.
forget it. If you want to build that whole building in 1 month, yeah, it's gonna be done in 1 month.
Oh yeah.
That's the way it is here.
Right.
Once you have the only thing that when it comes to our own buildings over here, the
Hmm.
only problem is your funds.
Hmm.
As far as cash is flowing, that's why most people here they always like to start up when they don't just start up when okay you have a little bit of money, you're like okay let me start and let's see where this one is going to take us. No, they would get like the estimate of like they will call the architect and everybody. Okay, how this is what I want to build, the estimate, how many materials, how much will it cost me. You know how much it's gonna cost you
Right.
from the get-go. The
Right.
day you get that money that that building is gonna cost you, that's
Right.
when you start. So if they give you, okay, this by a month's time, this building is gonna be done, by a month, that building is gonna be done. The only thing that makes buildings get delayed over here is money.
Mm. And
Money.
not the because out here you have to like get inspections through the city with everything that you do. Let's say
The
you get
look at the way we do ours is like, okay, I get a land.
Mhm.
Before I'm able to do anything, I'm doing all the inspections there. I'm registering everything as I did. Before you start bidding, you must have done all the registration with the government.
Right.
You have all your papers complete.
Right.
Pay all the things you need to pay. Do what
Hmm.
the dues, pay all the dues you need to do. It's done. Before you start laying blocks on your land, everything has to be, anything papers has to be done
Right.
already. So
Hmm.
if you tell them I'm building a 3-story on this place, if it's they come check the land, if it's enough for 3 story, it's done before you start building.
Okay, but what I'm saying is out here, like they go step by step. Okay, you got
Yeah,
your
that's what
build
I'm saying. Like they come and
your building
inspect,
is up.
no, yeah,
Right, your building is up. Okay, now you got to bring the electricians in, well, the framers in. Once they do the
yeah,
framing work, you bring the electricians in. But
yeah.
once they do the framing work, that has to be inspected by an inspector to make sure it's correct.
You- to the code, yeah.
then then you could bring the electricians in. Once they do their electrician work, run all these wires and everything, another inspector comes in to make sure that's correct. So every stage an inspector has to
Has to
come
be, yeah.
behind that trades person's work and make sure it's done correctly according to city code.
Yeah, and I think that's where ours is a little bit different because we don't have to do that. Nobody has to
Okay.
come and be checking whether what the electrician did was up to, like the inspector come to find out, okay, is this okay? No,
Right.
we don't get to do that.
I'll see, that's how they do it out here, and
Yeah,
that is what takes time. Yeah,
we
you know what
don't
I'm
get to do
saying?
that here. My electrician can be working on the same day my carpenter is working, like the same
Right.
day the bricklayers are working, like that is
Hmm.
how it's done. And I guess that is why, as once you start building and you have your money, you're done.
Hmm.
You're done. That's just it. I've seen houses being built, like very beautiful, magnificent houses being built in a month,
Wow.
like painted,
Oh, I need to
everything,
come out there.
floored,
Mm,
everything in a month.
mm.
As far as you have your money, you're good.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Now, once you have your money, you hire the best, so as to know that whatever they are doing is good, and you don't
Right.
have any, issues with later on being
Inspections.
like, oh,
Right.
something, this, the wiring is not nice, you're having issues with your lightning and the rest. So you hire the best, of the best, so that
Right.
everything, by the time you're done, everything is set and good. No
Mm.
issues, no problems.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you're done.
Oh, that's what I call black excellence.
You're done.
Okay.
So I guess that's where I was different. So when I was just seeing it play out, I was like, wow, that is such a headache.
Mm.
So having to build somewhere for like 4 or 5 months, really, and they had the money down. No, it cannot
Yeah.
happen over here. It can't happen over here. By now,
Mm.
they started their practice already in their new place. By now, if it's over here,
Mm.
they have started their new practice already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully this go a lot faster for them. I mean, I kind of feel bad for them because they depleted
Yeah.
all their savings.
Yeah,
You know,
they
and she
literally
said she's
tore through everything
yeah, she says she's losing patience because she doesn't really have a home for them
to see
to
them.
be
Yeah.
seen at. Yeah. You know, so I hope that
And
everything
she
works out
and
for
she said she
them.
has to work two jobs
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
So hopefully it gets better for them. Hopefully. At the end of the day, it's when you're working towards your future, it's never easy.
Yeah.
Um it's never easy, so it's understandable.
Right.
It's understandable. Um, so also in the episode, we heard that Toya's dog died when she went to Brandy's hospital with Simone.
Right.
She got a call that her dog died, and she did a burial. I think that was the only scene I kind of liked because I'm an animal lover.
Mm.
Um, Not really a dog crossing, but I do feel kind of some way when I see an animal die, like all of a sudden, or a death that could be prevented. So I kind of felt sad in that scene, and I kind of related with that scene. Then the burial, when they were talking about the dog and the life she has lived, and when she said in her confessionals that she felt like the dog felt like it was her time, coming them finally moving to their own house. The dog walked around the house, walked around the neighborhood, and I was like, you know what, I'm good to go. That kind of touched me because I kind of felt a certain kind of way. I think that was the only part in the episode that I kind of related to. So it was nice to see that amidst all the
Mhm.
chaos of the whole episode.
Right.
um it was really nice to see that. And I was grateful to the ladies that everybody was in their best behavior.
Mhm.
No fighting, no arguments, no issues. Everybody came genuinely to grieve and mourn and, go home. So kudos to the ladies for keeping it real and not exploding um during that period. Because it would have pissed me off if any of them started fighting.
Yeah,
It
I
would
mean, I
have.
get it. I get it. Having a dog for 18 years, yeah, that's like your kid,
That's your
basically.
family, yeah.
Yeah, so I understand how she felt, I've mourned over our pets too, so never had a funeral for him, but definitely mourned him, you know.
Mm,
And hey, we done seen dogs have birthday parties. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
On different shows. So, people love their pets like they love their kids, which is
yeah.
good. That's a good thing.
That's
It
it. No, that's a
it
very good
has
thing.
life. It has life in it. So,
Yeah.
it's good to value life no matter what the life is.
Mm, exactly. So they the final moment of this episode was when Dr. Jackie invited all the ladies to a dance, sexy dancing thing, and I liked it. You will know the sexy ladies of the group. That's Quad and the new lady. What's her name? Oh man,
I didn't
oh
catch
my,
her name this time.
and maybe when they get it because they've not really properly introduced her. So that's why we've not really gotten to know her that much. So after the whole dancing thing, they decided to have a sit down. When they decided to have a sit down, I was like, yeah, it's about to begin. That's what I said. It's about to get down. And which he did. And the funny part is that we also got to see the men get together and they also had a sit down. And I was shocked by what happened during the men period because we saw Eugene saying that his wife was right in what she said or whatever she said about Dr. Curtis. I was shocked. Were you shocked by his response of that?
No, I
You weren't?
wasn't.
Oh
No,
wow. I
because
was.
the way Curtis was making it sound was like, you know, it's not right, and she shouldn't have said that, and you know, and spreading the propaganda, that kind of thing, and like
Yeah.
Curtis, I feel like Curtis shouldn't have had nothing to say, because Curtis, look, roll the tape back and we can see.
Wow, not roll the tape back.
Yes, we can see your hand on putting your hands on uh Toya, both hands, and pulling her down as you were seated. So she really didn't have a choice. I mean, she could have pulled away and been like, Curtis, what you doing? You know, but she, her body just react to those hands pulling her back and sitting her down on his lap. Like, what was that for? She had a whole husband over there, and you had a whole wife. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Plus, we already know about your infidelity, and then who else was that? Who else? He had his hands on her sides of her hips, right where her hips start to curve. Don't no other man's hands belong there besides your mate, your boyfriend, or your husband.
yeah.
You know, any other hand there's very inappropriate, and it gives me a feeling. Like, ugh, you know?
Mm,
And Jackie, she should have been more pissed off, you know? Not at Toya, but at him. Instead of her attacking Toya, she should have said, look, dude, like, you see the shit that you getting us into years later? You know,
mm-hmm.
like, stop already. You bet not do nothing else. you know,
Yeah.
that's that's how she should have been handling that, and not, well, Toya, you shouldn't have said. I never would have said about you. Well, her husband ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna put his hands below somebody's belly button towards the curve of their hip, because that's real inappropriate. You know, so Jackie's just gonna have to live with it at this point. Quit blaming other women for something that your husband is doing. It's not the women, it's your husband is the common denominator.
Mm. Why
How'd
me
you
I said I was
run over?
shocked was that
Say
why
what?
why I said I was that sometimes we see these men trying to not kind of cause or escalate issues like the wives do,
Right,
right? We tend to see them kind of, okay, you know what, I apologize for what my wife said, or that kind of thing. I thought that was what was going to happen, but that's why I said I was shocked. Not that I'm saying that um he is innocent,
right.
right?
Well,
I'm not
well, I
saying.
mean, me as a husband, if I was a husband, you can't come to my wife, or come at my wife or my significant other saying anything, especially when I was there and I seen it for myself and I know it's true. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you
Mm,
sit there and make it seem like they're in the wrong.
yeah.
When, hey, they were asked the question, what they supposed to do? Lie to protect your lies? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Curtis was just in the wrong. He should have found something else to talk about.
I think should have found. But do you think going forward that might cause issues within the group?
Nah, I don't think so. The guys are pretty good for letting stuff go. Once they talk about it, they let it go. They're not like the women. The women keep drumming up the same thing. Well, you hurt me. I thought you meant that you apologized, but you're still the same old B that you were last time. Women are the only ones that keep bringing stuff up.
Yeah, not you imitating Simone.
Yeah, you know, like
Oh my
once
god.
once once I feel you've given me a genuine apology, I'ma forgive you. You know,
Mm,
and if I see that you're acting out again on the same stuff, I'm gonna pull you to the side and say, "Hey, look, did you really mean that, or was you just saying it just to say it because this is how I'm
yeah.
feeling right now?" You know what I'm saying? Either you can correct it, or you could tell me to go f off.
Mm,
Either way, I'm gonna accept it like a woman, like an adult, and I'm gonna act accordingly from there. I'm not gonna sit back and hold a grudge, and like I don't have time for that. I'm gonna address it right then and there. You
yeah.
know, without exploding. Without
Without
without the
without
ugly
exploding.
faces. Yeah, without the ugly expressions. Without the finger pointing, without the nagging
Yeah.
voice. I'm just gonna straight come to you as a woman.
Um, we got to also see Toya, sorry, Simone and Quad have the same argument over the same thing over again, and they kind of apologized to each other. I was like, okay, how long will this one last?
Yeah.
2 episodes?
Yeah.
Because I did see the playback, like in episode one, they did a kind of flashback of what's gonna happen during the season, and there was a fight that they still had, and it doesn't look like this is it.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, do I think this apology is gonna last?
Mm.
Let's just see. Hopefully, that is gonna um stay. Now, the other thing, or the other quarrel is Dr. Heavenly and Toya. I know Dr. Heavenly and Toya has always had their rift, but I don't think it has gone to this extent where they are ready to tear at each other. Um, and now it seems like they are there right now, and Dr. Heavenly and Toya are like saying words to each other. What would you have said, like, oh, when you watched that scene when Dr. Heavenly and Toya were going at each other? How did you feel? One part that I hate, sorry for not lying, so one part that I hate, like I hate when we're having an argument, you bring out the I know things about you that I could say that could ruin your life, but I'm keeping quiet. I'm like, dude, say it already.
Mm.
I hate when people pull out that crap. I hate it. And for me, if I feel like you say that about me, like we're friends, and the first thing you say when we're having an argument is, I know things about you that I can say. That day, even if you apologize to me, you will notice the difference. You would hardly find out anything about me, because that means that you could kill me. That's the way I view it. That's my own view. For you to pull out the card of I know something about you, I know things about you, and I can say it out. So for me, I didn't like that in that argument at all. But how did you feel about it, Toya and Dr. Henry?
I don't know. When I kind of seen that, I was like, okay, here we go again, Heavenly. Like, you cannot make peace with these women for nothing. You always got to be bickering with somebody. I just don't really understand it. And uh, Heavenly always cuts low. When Heavenly first came on the show, she was so pleasant and so sweet. She had something at her house, her and Dr. Damon, and it was Dr. Simone and Dr. Uh, Goodness gracious. Dr. Jackie.
Yeah.
I think they might have had Mariah with them at that time, because they all hung out like in a group. And I think Toya was there too. You know, they mentioned something about Heavenly's weight, and Heavenly got wind of it. And I seen the change in Heavenly's attitude after that, because I'm telling you, at first Heavenly she was cool. She was like the perfect little Southern belle. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
everything was kosher. But once she got hood wind of that, the hood started coming out in her, and it was like she really didn't want to curse you out, so she started saying "yo mama," and then she started to curse. You know what I'm saying? Heavenly, her mouth, it's her mouth. Is how she
Yeah.
uses
Her
her mouth.
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how she uses her mouth and the things that she say, the inappropriate things that she say to hurt and dig at you and claw at you is what Heavenly has bad. When she got into it with Toya, now see, when Toya first came on, her and Mariah was at somebody's party. I'm trying to remember who else was there. I think Simone was there too. And Mariah and Toya got into a fight. I don't know if you remember this. This is the very first episode. They got into a fight and they ended up in the swimming pool. I mean, they had on nice clothes, their hair was done, makeup flawless. They were in the water fighting. you know. So that's when I
Yeah.
first seen the show, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to keep watching this show," because hey, I've never seen people do this at a fancy party, you know. So I said that to say this: when Heavenly started in, and see, all Heavenly got is mouth. Okay, Toya is a fighter. Okay, she don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
She don't give a damn. So Heavenly, my first thing was like, uh-oh, Heavenly better watch out that she don't make Toya just like drag her, because Toya kind of reminds me of Portia, Portia from Atlanta.
Mm.
She will drag you if you make her mad enough,
Yeah.
and think about jail later, you know? So I was like, yeah, Heavenly is not too good to push Toya. Like, really, don't push her. You know what I'm saying? So I was just kind of saddened to see that, because I'm like, Heavenly, you trying to run for a government official, you know? You, you're trying to run for what is a state representative? Like, you got to show up and show out,
Uh-huh.
not show up and show your ass, you know? I mean, we need good black leaders, that's going to be about their business, you know? And not somebody
Yeah.
that's going to be bickering with somebody who they call an associate, a homie, a co-worker, whatever you want to title it as. You know this woman. You know what I'm saying? So
Um,
I hate to see it. I just hate to see it. You know. I'm hoping for the best, that they can resolve this without going to blows and hurting each
yeah.
other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all totally unnecessary.
Uh-huh. I too am hoping for the best, although I know that they are still gonna fight a lot this season, but I'm hoping for the best. And I'm hoping that it doesn't get to the extent where they start exchanging blows.
Right.
Um, one is not good for her, it's not good for her political career. I don't think that that's what she needs right now. So hopefully they don't get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't get to that point. Hopefully. Well, that was where this episode wrapped up. We'll get to the final fight or the final version of the fight between Heavenly and Toya in next week's episode. Um, well, I'm anticipating and waiting for next week's episode. Especially, I want to start seeing more of the new girls.
Yes.
Because I don't think they've gotten to really introduce us to them a lot. So I want a proper introduction to those new girls. I want a proper introduction
Hmm.
to new girls. Hopefully they will do that. Well, that's what we're gonna wrap it up for today's review and recap of Married to Medicine season 12 episode 2. Catch us same time next week for another review and recap. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.
Bye.